So this video is going to be all about teaching the basics and why we should be learning Unreal Engine. Now if you're coming from some other 3D software such as Blender or Maya, then actually learning Unreal Engine is not going to be very hard. And to be honest, there's a very good beginners tutorial series uploaded by the Bad Decisions on their channel, and it's a 20-part series, and I don't need to tell you how funny these guys are and how great they are at their work. They would really guide you through the ups and downs of how to learn Unreal Engine very well. So with that said, why am I recommending you to learn Unreal Engine? Well, one of the first reasons why I am saying this is because of how fast Unreal Engine is. Now I know a lot of people will say that it crashes quite often and that it takes a lot of time to open Unreal Engine. And while initially Unreal Engine loads a lot of assets and textures, throughout your workflow, it is actually the smoothest software that I have worked with yet. So I have worked with Maya and I have used Blender. I have primarily used Blender. And one of the things that I found was great about Unreal is that its Lumen engine, which was introduced in Unreal Engine 5, is literally the best engine for handling big sceneries. So what I prefer and what pretty much the purpose of Unreal Engine is, you can pretty much model assets from a software like Blender and then export them to Unreal Engine. And Unreal Engine will handle these assets no matter how detailed they are, no matter what's the texture quality. Unreal Engine handles them like a champ. Now when we talk about the Lumen engine, one of the best things that it has is that it's a real-time rendering engine, except unlike other rendering engines, this one actually has really good lighting and reflections. So the performance that you get out of this real-time render engine is incredible, and you can pretty much use this to make final products in case of animations or even games designing. And technically, this is the most powerful thing that Unreal Engine or Epic Games has given us. Because here's the thing, most real-time render engines in other softwares like let's say Blender's Eevee, while they are real-time, they are not very good, they are not very efficient at tackling big sceneries, and at the same time, they don't look visually as pleasing. Whereas when you use the Lumen engine of Unreal, it's actually a very amazing engine to look at. It genuinely looks very beautiful. Now when we talk about learning Unreal Engine, one of the things that I've noticed is that if you have had experience or if you have a background of Blender or Maya or any other 3D software, then learning Unreal is not going to be very hard. The basics of the software are the same, and in fact exporting, importing textures and assets is actually quite simple in Unreal because the feature of drag and drop is not actually available in all the other 3D softwares. It is available, but in most 3D softwares there is always some type of a delay in doing such a process, or at least they don't have the drag and drop feature for every other asset or texture in their software. Whereas Unreal pretty much gives you the option to drag and drop anything, and that is the real power of Unreal. It's speed. So the reason you should be learning it is pretty much simple. If you have the background of any other 3D software which is advanced in making other things, then pairing that 3D software to Unreal Engine, like Blender with Unreal Engine, that's going to be a very powerful combination. Now learning Unreal Engine, as I said, it's not going to be hard. One of the things that you have to keep in mind though is that Unreal Engine is not a modeling tool, and so you have to specifically use other softwares for modeling. While Unreal does give you options to use modeling tools within the software, those modeling tools are mediocre at best. They are not the best ones you have on the market, and technically you will take a lot more time modeling something in Unreal than you will take it in Blender. In Blender, modeling the same thing would take you 1/4 of the time. And actually in the case of Corridor Crew, the VFX artists, one of them that goes by the name of Sam actually has tried Unreal Engine, and I think he was able to do certain things that other artists were not able to do because they did not have the knowledge of how to use Unreal Engine. And while I'm not totally undermining anyone else's work, what I am saying is that if you are a skilled artist, Unreal is definitely gonna help you. So yeah, that was my opinion on Unreal Engine. And in the next video, I will be talking about how you can use Unreal Engine and how you can use it in sync with Blender to get the best results out of it. So stay tuned for that and have a nice day.